Judge Lewis Lyman has his hands full in New York with lawyers, celebrities who keep fighting for a fork and a knife. They keep hating each other. Nasty Blake and Justin in court. Friedman woke up and had his breakfast before he heads into court to rip someone a new asshole. Buenos dias, my friends. It is the Bushman, and we are here, morning mics on a Thursday morning. Wow, so much happening. Let's say hello. Let's have a greeting. Let's talk. Steve, you'll have to read the comments because I don't have access to them at this point. There's something in there. Although I probably could just slide over to the private chat. No, I don't think I can. It's not in there. Anyway, good morning to y'all. Steve, why don't you say hello to some people and read the chat? Oh, yes. I see the chat. Hang on. Hello, yes. Richard. Billy, LOL, the Ballad of Blake and Justin. Yes, it's on like Donkey Kong. I'm about to set the stage for you guys in a way that if you have any questions as to what's happening in New York at Supreme Court with Judge Lewis J. Lyman presiding. By the way, he presided over the Rudy Giuliani case. He's a big guy. His brother, Doug Lyman, a big Hollywood director. So he has connections there. Not sure if that helps Blake or her. I don't know. I think the guy's a serious guy. That's the judge on the right. That's his brother on the left. Yeah, Allison White. Look at Allison. Allison wants to say party with, you know it, $4.99, baby. Discount. Super chat. Bang. I'm so excited to tell you what's happening. Finally, some action in this darn case. You know what I'm saying? Is it possible that it gets thrown out today? Here we go. By the way, our dear friend Zack Peters will be joining us again. How about Zack? He's panting this morning in the gym. He's in the gym at 5 a.m.
Better than me.
Blake Lively posts on it. Jesus, guy. Talk about intensity.
He's in it. He's in it to win it,
He's in it to win it, guy. He's in it to win it. I like the term guy. I like guy. Hey, guy. All right. Who's ready for a little action here? So here's what's happening in New York. U.S. District Judge Lewis Lyman of the Southern District is hearing oral arguments right now, Supreme Court, on a motion for summary judgment filed by Justin Baldoni's legal team in the civil suit that Blake Lively brought against him. The motion asks the judge to rule in Baldoni's favor without going to a full trial. What the oral arguments are about. Well, the defendant's position, Baldoni's, they argue that Lively's claims, including SH, hostile work environment, and retaliation related to the set of It Ends With Us do not rise to severe or pervasive harassment, and that there really are no genuine disputes of material facts that require a jury. They amount to a lot worse than that as far as Blake is concerned, in my opinion. The bullying of a director, the hijacking of his movie, the possible coercion of other cast members. Baldoni's filings assert that the alleged conduct really amounts to just minor grievances, right? Creative disagreements, interpersonal friction, that's obvious, on-set discomfort. And all of that is not legally actionable and fail as a matter of law. That there were no patterns of sustained, objectively hostile conduct, zero evidence that conditions of employment were altered, unless you consider that they might be altered by Blake, who boasted to Ben Affleck and the governing body of the Producers Guild, that she was the producer of literally every single detail of the movie. Any adverse actions like creative decisions, set dynamics, production outcomes were legitimate, non-punitive, not causally linked to protected complaints, say Baldoni. Even if they accepted Blake's version of events, a jury could not legally find liability. Enough has come out that shows that Blake is hard to believe is a victim, right? This is the heart of Justin's summary judgment. Now, Blake's position, the plaintiff, right? Her attorneys opposed the summary judgment outright, saying that deciding these issues without a trial would ultimately deny her a day in court, and that factual disputes, especially about the context, severity, and impact of the alleged conduct, require a jury. Her team will cite conflicting testimony, right? Behavior, SH in this case, that should be evaluated based on context, not isolated incidents. Disputes of credibility, a look at power dynamics, repetition, and the impact on working conditions. She says these are disputed facts that require a jury, not a judge. Now, as for the retaliation part of it, Blake's team's going to point to the proximity between her complaints and alleged consequences of them. Internal Wayfarer communications showing hostility or defensiveness. A jury could certainly infer retaliatory intent, say Blake's lawyers. Blake's team will effusively stress that Team Baldoni is asking the judge to weigh evidence, basically become the jury, asking the judge to judge credibility and ultimately just supplant the entire jury, which is improper at the summary judgment phase. You got to hand it to Blake. I mean, she's got brass cojones. Either beneath the mean girl takedown banter with Taylor and the relentless pressuring of exasperated Sony executives, she believes she's got the evidence and maybe witness corroboration to prove SH and retaliation, or she is like Lance Armstrong deep and she'd rather fight, lose, and then claim a miscarriage of justice in the aftermath. The victim role we know she's comfortable with. Now, Judge Lyman, what's his deal? Well, this guy is going to have to focus on whether the legal standards for summary judgment are met, not on whether the underlying allegations are true at this stage. That's not the point, but whether there's enough undisputed factual evidence that the case really doesn't need a trial. They can just throw it out now. Were Justin Baldoni's actions like severe, or was it a case of just discomfort? Would a reasonable person find this environment on set hostile? He'll ask, how does this case measure up against others historically? Is this unprecedented? Are the disputed facts real disputes or like characterization differences? Why these oral arguments matter? A successful summary judgment for Justin Baldoni could end all or part, i.e. the judge dismisses some of Blake Lively's lawsuit before trial. And then, of course, Blake will probably, likely appeal. If denied, the case will continue toward its scheduled civil trial on May 18th. Okay? There we go. Right now, we welcome Zack Peters. Zack Peters is in the gym this morning at a hour. Dude, what's going on with that?
Well, before that, I was live on Court TV this morning. So I woke up at 3, had to tape Court TV, had my 6 a.m. gym workout, and now here I am at 7 a.m. with you, Billy.
Oh, see, I was like, okay, wow. Okay, so you're already up. You're like, let me just take advantage of this right now. Good move. If you had punted that to later, you'd be so tired around 3 o'clock, you wouldn't have done it.
I needed to be up and ready for this hearing today.
I know. Do you realize, Zach, that May 18th is really going to be the Super Bowl for you? You are like, you're Tom Brady running into the stadium on May 18th to, but except for in the broadcast booth, right? You're not on the field.
Over a year in training, I've been waiting for this trial.
You know what? I have to say, we have an old family apartment. It's a 1-bedroom apartment, and I've invited you. You can stay with Steve and I.
Harassment. That sounds like harassment, Billy. I need to take it up with Judge
and
Lemon
don't we
now.
miss good old harassment? I mean, come on. This is
personally, I like being harassed.
Look what Joy has.
What a joy. Joy says, Billy, Zach is jacked. You should see his thighs. Jesus, Joy.
I'll show you your apartment, Billy.
Zach, most people think that Blake will either prevail fully or in part. I think that is, the idea that Judge Lyman would say, I'm going to decide this now. It doesn't go to trial on May 18th. Probably not likely. What's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I feel like I've tried to predict how these things are going to go with Judge Lyman, and I never know how we've seen him rule a lot in Blake's favor. Understandably, I think he was giving her enough rope to hang herself, and now here we are. We're seeing the evidence that's been presented. I think that there may be a chance that some of her claims get dismissed, but at the end of the day, which claims stand? Like, look at Baldoni. His defamation case got thrown out, not because he didn't have any evidence or merit, but because, she had her litigation privileges. But he still had claims that he could have taken forward, and he didn't because they weren't really worth battling it out in a trial. So we're going to have to see how it goes. It can really go either way.
I mean, I just laid it all out there, set the stage. And I really sort of feel, as I went through all of this stuff, it seems to me very circumstantial. I'm looking for evidence of Blake's that say blatant SH, and I just don't see any. The only thing I can find, that's jumping out is, I'm thinking about the video that Jamie Heath, I guess is that sexual harassment? I mean, I guess showing a video of your wife giving birth, I'm going to say it. I like Jamie. I played golf with him. I know him. It's weird. I wouldn't show anyone that. That's definitely weird. But it does relate to the material, and he is a producer. Right. And then, the side thigh, that there wasn't an intimacy coordinator for my birthing scene. It showed my thigh. Is that sexual? Again,
that's the thing. It's like we're taking something like birth and we're sexualizing it, right?
It's weird.
Birth is not sexual, and there's nothing sexual in nature about it. And so the fact that she's making it something that it's not, like, that's the part that's so weird. But I mean, it wasn't just, it was birth, it was circumcision, it was breastfeeding, like all of these things that are natural, that are part of our biological process of bringing humans into this world. She's sexualized it.
You know what? And Zach, it's so funny you say that because, listen, I've been in the delivery room 3 times for my 3 beloved daughters. And there's a reason why the doctor says no sex for 6 weeks after birth. Okay. There's a lot going on there. That's not sexual. That's seriously painful and damaging.
It would be different if there were the sex scenes that they were performing and he did something during those moments that was, egregious and like made her super uncomfortable, which all of her claims relate back to these very, biological instances related to birth and breastfeeding and circumcision. And then the worst is that he used the word sexy, or he said, you smell good, because she was like, I'm sorry if my spray tan smells. And he's like, no, it smells fine. You smell fine.
I love a spray tan smell. I love copper tone.
I love a spray tan. I don't love the smell. I know the smell. I know why she made that comment, because when I get a fresh spray tan.
He never said oh, no, it's hot. I like it. It's hot. No. And when he said, oh, I like that outfit, it looks sexy, it was on set. And in the script, it says she dresses sexy and walks into the room. It's part of the directive. It's not like in the hotel lobby at the end of filming and we're having a drink and I'm like, hey, you look sexy.
It's also like they're not filming a Christmas movie, a wholesome family Christmas movie. They're filming an adult movie that's rated R that has these things. Like, she was on Gossip Girl, which also the Gossip Girl, I think I said this on your show yesterday, like the kids were technically in high school and they're performing all these intimate scenes with each other. So it's not like Blake Lively is new to anything. I mean, didn't she meet Ryan on the set of The Green Lantern where they had intimate scenes together as well? I mean, it's like, what is this, her first scene in Hollywood where she suddenly is like, oh my God, she's become a prude?
Yeah, and Angie Giannetti, the Sony executive, was like, hey, can we punch up the scenes here? These are fans of It Ends With Us, the book, and they want some heat. And I'm not seeing a lot of heat here. I'm seeing PG. I like Angie. I see Angie, they're just like, Come on, give me more contact, baby. Give me some sex.
yeah.
Give me some heat. That's
Because
her. That's not even them.
Colleen Hoover books are like that. That's why when Isabella Ferrer is complaining about having to eat cookie dough, which was a scene directly out of the book that was written by Colleen Hoover, like the fact that they're taking these things and twisting the context of it is wild to me. But that's like taking a 50 Shades of Grey book, knowing what you're signing up for when filming the movie 50 Shades of Grey, and suddenly being like, whoa, now I feel like I've been harassed. And again, when you pick all of these apart, they're so, even Jenny Slate's claims are the wildest to me, where she's just like, he was outside interacting with fans. And like, I was bothered by that because I then, I hope there's no expectation for me to go out and interact with fans. I'm a private person. It's like her grievances were so stupid to me. And I'm like, these are, and then to see headlines in like TMZ of like all these women on the set of It Ends With Us that are bringing forth allegations as evidence comes out. And it's like, licking a spoon and saying hello to fans are the worst things that have happened on the set of It Ends With Us.
Is my old friend Harvey Levin amenable? Is he a little more? Is he maybe receiving missives from Leslie Sloan, who is Blake's publicist?
I will say, Harvey's the only one that kind of like doesn't seem to be Team Blake, and he's had Brian Friedman on TMZ, and Brian Friedman has called Harvey out and said like, hey, you guys, like you're misrepresenting these details in your headlines. And Harvey's like, I know, we kind of missed the ball on that. And he's like admitted to things, but then I continue to see TMZ put out these crazy headlines.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I'm wondering what's going on over there sometimes. I don't understand. What do we think is like, what is going on? Like, it's not, I just think like it wasn't SH to me. But I do, I mean, it's obvious that like he got under her skin, like he was annoying, or I honestly keep going back to the idea that she was just pissed off that she is working with someone she deems as like low rent. And so she wanted to tell her friends, Matt Damon and Bradley Cooper and Ben Affleck and Taylor Swift, like, oh my God, I'm dealing with like the biggest loser right now, you guys. Like, I have to do everything. Like, I have to like, oh my God, he doesn't know how to light the set. He doesn't know how to do anything. Like, oh my God, like, we've all been there. I mean,
well, we had the panel that she did, remember, where she talks about needing authorship, and she comes in as the actress and then tries to rip the rug out. I think she saw this project as an easy win. I think she was like, listen, it's this nobody director, and he seemed excited. Remember at the beginning, he was really excited that they got Blake Lively to sign on to this film. Like, they thought that this was a big get. It's a Colleen Hoover book. There's a cult following that already loves her, that's going to show up for this. We got a name like Blake Lively. Like, it all seemed like, the perfect foundation for a hit film. And I think she saw it as like, yeah, Colleen Hoover, cult audience, if we can come in and take over this film, like, this will be a hit for us. And I'm sure Ryan was on board with that as well. They thought that this was going to be an easy grab for them to just hijack the movie. Yeah. And then there was pushback, right? There was pushback from Sony. There was pushback from Justin. And I think she was becoming increasingly irritated with him. All the theories that I think a lot of us had at the beginning about her having a crush on him, I think have gone out the window. I don't think she was into him. I think she was icked out by him. And like you said, I think she really believed that he was beneath her.
Yeah. Okay. So she was never hot for him. That was just fun to poke Ryan with.
Yeah.
Like
imagine how pissed she was when that became the narrative.
Huh?
I said, imagine how pissed she was when that became the narrative, was that she had the hots for him.
Oh, she just looked at him in that wife beater and she was like, oh, I got to have that. Takes me back to the Green Lantern, Ryan. Remember that when we first had that, like, I got to have that impulsive feeling. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking about Taylor Swift in all this, Zach, too. And people are, you mentioned it this morning in your post on Instagram that I woke up to. People are kind of defending Taylor a little bit now, and I want to say something that I am one person who wants to step back for a second, and this is because I was talking to a woman last night who's super close, and she said to me, if one of my girlfriends was like, this dude is doing everything, and she was definitely my super tight girlfriend, like, this guy's creeping on me, he's doing like this, she's like, I would just roar without even thinking. Like, a lot of us girls would just be like, forget that, he's dead, F him. And Taylor did. Now she's the great Taylor Swift, and we hold her to a different standard. But I think she's guilty of something that most people do. That is why also, by the way, she is definitely a vindictive person. She has this in her nature. I brought something that I want to share afterwards, and that is evidence. It's an amazing article that not enough people have read in Music Business Weekly about how the Scooter Braun deal went down. It is absolute. She was able to establish a narrative on that is bullshit.
Absolutely.
She established a narrative that he ripped it away from her, wouldn't sell it back to her, gouged her in his final offer. And actually, the reason why the final offer didn't go down is because Scooter Braun and his company, Ithaca Holdings, was demanding that she sign an NDA, like a strict NDA that prohibited her from talking about Scooter in any type of way. And she was like, no, they're trying to gag me. I'm not doing it. And you know what she did in order to trash Scooter Braun and call him an asshole, and that she spent actually $100 million more to buy them from Shamrock Capital than she would have with Scooter. $100 million more because she wanted the narrative that this guy was an asshole, and that's how much the victim role is worth.
Yeah. I mean, and she was able to profit off of that astronomically. And he even says that in a recent interview. He's like, look at her. She was smart. She sold, she re-recorded them. She sold all the albums again. Like, that was a novel thing to happen in the music industry. But that's the thing, though. That's the thing that the Swifties that are defending, because I have friends that are diehard Swifties, and they're just they're like, Zach, but you don't get it. Like, we would do the same thing for each other. And I'm like, you're right. However, like, yeah, if something was going on with one of my friends, like, people know I'm, ruthless and toothless. They know when I pop off on the internet, I go hard, right? And so my thing, though, is I know when I'm going hard. I know when I'm going to go savage. I know if I'm going to hold somebody's feet to the fire. If I do some fucked up shit, I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? And I go all in and I own it. Taylor Swift knew what she was doing was wrong. And she also knew that taking somebody else's art, because that was the argument she made with Scooter Braun, is he took my art away from me, which he didn't really. But she's here.
Her father made $15 million on the sale. Scott Swift was on the board and made $15 million when Ithaca Holdings and Scooter Braun bought that catalog from Big Machine. Scotty Swift made a 15 mil.
So she knows that the narrative that she put out there about Scooter Braun stealing her music was BS, but the Swifties ate it up. And yet now you're seeing her exhibit that same behavior. If you have such a high standard for not screwing people over in the entertainment business, you can then do the same thing all these years later. And the other thing is, people knew that Blake Lively is not an honest or ethical person. We've heard rumors about Blake. I've heard rumors about Blake Lively for years. So you mean to tell me Matt Damon and Taylor Swift and all these people didn't know that Ryan and Blake were awful people? Stephanie Jones, when she was talking to Justin Baldoni, we learned in his deposition that she was trashing Blake and Ryan and saying what a terrible reputation they have. So the fact that all of these stars want to be like, whoa, we just believed Blake. It's like, no, you believed an entitled brat actress that you knew was an entitled brat actress that was capable of lying and manipulating. The issue is, yes, you bet money on a bad horse, but you chose that horse knowing that that was a bad horse to bet on. And the only reason these people are starting to have any shred of remorse is because they got caught.
I'm going to let that sit.
Period.
Preach, girl. Preach. I mean, yes. Wow.
Taylor said it herself. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That's a direct Taylor Swift quote. So now she has to sit there here with her. This is my Spotify trophy. Here you go, Taylor Swift. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Oh my God. FAFO, right? Fuck around and find out. That's my new thing. Everyone loves to say that now. I love all that. It's exactly right. The problem that Taylor has, on the one hand, yes, we all shit talk somebody on behalf of our friends and don't do the research because we love our friends so much that you mess with them, you mess with me. I get that. Except you go to like the New York Times situation, that the article that was written by man hater Megan Twohey of the New York Times, and December 22nd or whatever it is. But December 4th and 5th, there's Blake and Taylor knows about this way in advance. It's not like, oh, we didn't know they were writing an article. We didn't collude with them. Leslie Sloan, her publicist, certainly wasn't working with Megan Twohey, with whom she has a close relationship. No. Taylor Swift knew about it and wrote to her, look, this bitch is going to get it. He's got his little tiny violin out. This is going down.
We heard about the reported dinner with Ronan Farrow in October, which seems to be when the breadcrumbs were being. I mean, I've said this from the beginning. The second, and I took my beating from the internet at the time, the second that New York Times article dropped and I read it, I said, this feels like Ronan Farrow's Rose McGowan expose on Harvey Weinstein, and they're just trying to replicate it. And now they have Blake Lively, and she's the new, they're propping her up to be the new Rose McGowan. They want another big Hollywood scandal. I go, but Justin Baldoni, like, I'd never heard of that dude. Like, he has no power the way Harvey Weinstein did. And then now we find out that there was a dinner with Ronan Farrow that happened in October. Apparently, Leslie Sloan, based off of her communications with Baldoni's team, became aware of these text messages at the end of August. It was around end of August, maybe early September, right? Then we suddenly hear about this dinner with Ronan Farrow in October. And then what also happened in October? Oh, that's right. When they looked up the metadata, remember it was the TikToker that found the metadata on the New York Times article and showed that the media was uploaded to the New York Times server in October. So that's why there was this theory that the article likely had begun getting put together in October before it was published in December, which was months before Blake Lively even filed her CRD complaint.
Oh, it was a total rollout. Probably began in August, I would imagine, maybe even late July, when Jen Abel was leaving Jonesworks. Her Baldoni's publicist leaving Baldoni's company and going out on her own. Once they left, that whole New York Times thing, there was no question that there's collaboration and collusion on that. It's just, it would be too circumstantial. It's just one of those things they just don't want to look at. They're avoiding here.
Yep.
What else is sticking out to you here? I gotta say, like,
I'm curious how Matt Damon and Ben Affleck and Gigi Hadid and Bradley Cooper and Hugh Jackman, I want to know what they're all thinking right now. Like, and they're all trying to stay so. Selma Hayek, who was even out to lunch with her.
Selma? She slipped out the back door like that.
Did you see the text message from Anna Wintour? That's how much Anna reached out to Blake. There's a text message that came out where she reached out to her and she was congratulating her on the film, despite everything that she went through with the making of this film. So Blake Lively was spreading the name. She was dragging Justin Baldoni's name all throughout Hollywood, up and down, left and right. And the crazy part is all these powerful people in Hollywood apparently knew that Justin Baldoni was this terrible dude, but never once was he pulled off this project. All we know about him from her communication to all these people was not about harassment. It was about what a doofus director he was. He's incompetent. He has cult money, and that's the only reason he's directing this film.
Never once has it said, oh, God, and he did this creepy thing to me. My skin crawled. He looked at my boobs, and he was like clearly like staring at them or anything. Nothing.
If there was a real issue
in the trailer where she's got the baby, he's like, do you want me to come in? I mean, I can come back later. And she's like feeding the baby. No, come in. Excuse me. You're very comfortable, with a baby hanging off your breast. If pumping milk in there. I mean, that's, I would be, if I walked in and a woman was pumping, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, shoot. Hi.
Yeah.
I'll come back later.
It's an intimate moment. Yeah. It's an intimate, private moment with her and her baby, right? And you want to give her privacy.
She harassed him.
Well, we saw her never with teeth text messages.
Never with teeth.
Never with. She's a ball buster, but never with teeth.
I happen to agree, but I mean, oh my God, it's not SH. And then again, we go back to what's happening in New York today, and that is, they've got to prove that this was, minor grievances, right? That this was about creative disagreements. And obviously friction between the two personalities. They don't get along. So it's about discomfort and not legally actionable SH. And that's what they're putting forward.
I mean, I don't think her claims stand up to the standard of SH, number one, but also,
I don't see any.
I mean, I think her PGA letter was the most incriminating thing, guys. Well, not only her text messages to all her friends about how much she had to run this set, but the PGA Mark letter where she says she was in charge of the politics on set and she was in charge of the HR complaints. She had full control. So this whole narrative that she's putting out there that he was the director and she was some actress, she didn't even know how to file HR complaints. Like what? She didn't even know how to do that on this set. It's like, it's such bogus at this point. And then to see the pages and pages of bullet points of all the things she claims she did on the set, all the things she did. It's insane for her to still try to push this narrative that she had no control over this and that he was just persistently harassing her.
Do you think, I just, like you said before, like Judge Lyman has definitely, it seems, leaned her way on a few things, except for he's the one who ordered that the text between Taylor and Blake be unsealed. So he's probably like, no, these are relevant. Let me see these, which makes me believe he's not oblivious to what happened yesterday when these came out and everybody 2 days ago when people were devouring these. I don't think he's like oblivious to that. I think he knows what's going on. So the timing of this for, Team Baldoni and Brian Friedman is unbelievable. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we also have to remember the reason that these text messages remained sealed for so long is because she kept fighting to have this information sealed until finally now he's like, they've always been relevant, but now Lyman's like, I can't hold this in anymore. Like, we can't continue to keep these under seal because you've run out of excuses and reasons to keep these things under seal. There's no more list of items as to why I can grant you this seal any further. And that's why Isabella Ferrer, her deposition had to come out, which, she was trying to keep that under seal. The Sony execs, the messages that they were sending about Blake Lively were scathing. You can tell they didn't like her. You can tell they were annoyed and pissed off. Angie Giannetti called her a terrorist on the set. Like, you can just tell these people were done with her. So if Baldoni was the problem, I think Sony would have stepped in and done something to protect someone like Blake Lively. But all we're seeing is that they were so irritated and annoyed that she kept dragging this out.
I like Sanford Pinch. What's his name? The Sony president, Sanford. Forgot. It's the president of Sony, Sanford. That's his first name. It's an excellent first name, by the way. It's Panich, Sanford Panich.
Yeah, Panich.
And he puts she is a terrorist. He's in text. He calls her a terrorist. You can't unsee that. Sony is a financial partner. They're a distributor that's putting money in. They're not the producers of the film. That's Wayfair and Justin. But these people come in and literally Justin was so beside himself, so stressed out by Blake. He's like, please, Jamie, tell Sony to do something. And Jamie's like, I mean, we're the ones that kind of have to do something. They can't. And Panich is just going, she's a total terrorist. Now, I wonder what happens. Poor Matt Damon. He must be so embarrassed today. He picked up the phone and he calls Sony and weighs in on Blake Lively's behalf. Hey, you should go with Blake Lively's cut. How embarrassing for Matt Damon. I mean, if Taylor Swift ghosted her for making all of this public, Matt Damon's got to be like, oh my God, she's toxic. I can't get anywhere near her.
Yeah, I mean, and this is going to change a lot in Hollywood. Nobody's going to put anything in text messages or writing or emails. Nobody's text messages and emails have been exposed in Hollywood like this, where we're seeing so many famous people. We have Anna Wintour, we have Matt Damon, we have Ben Affleck, we have J-Lo, like we have Taylor Swift. Like, they all thought that they were going to protect each other and they were going to protect each other until, the end of time. And Blake Lively just came and said her grievances were more important, that she didn't care that she brought all these people down with her.
Zach, I can't go any further. There's a $28 question here, and it's not the first. There's been a lot in here. So, Simi, you got it, girl. Zach, the chat loves you. Just a quick question. Can you tell us about your skincare?
Yes. So I first of all, I have a lot of Botox in my face, which is very helpful.
Why do you, I like that you admit that, and then I'll tell you my story. Go ahead.
Yeah, Botox. I've done fill. I haven't had any filler put in my face in like 2 years. I've kind of stopped with the filler, but Botox, and then I use a really good exfoliant. I'm gonna pimp it out right now. One of my good friends, I think you know Jenny too, Jenny McCarthy. She has a skincare line out called Formless Beauty, and I use her skincare line. I use her exfoliant, which is my favorite exfoliant. Her hyaluronic acid serum. So I'm gonna pimp out Jenny. Go get Formless Beauty. I don't get any kickbacks or anything from that, but Formless Beauty is my go-to by Jenny McCarthy. So go give her some love.
I sat with Jenny McCarthy not long ago on Extra before I left. It was promoting the Masked Singer. Jesus, I said, Jenny, I can't stop. I mean, I don't want to be a weirdo, but
She ages backwards.
She said also, it's not, I hate to say this, Zach. She was a big tequila fan, and she cut it out.
Stopped drinking. Yeah, she's really changed a lot in the last year.
She looks sexier than she has ever looked at now, even more so than when she was in her 20s on MTV.
Mm-hmm. She looks great.
She is not going to have a problem with me saying that. I know that. But wow, she is in. And by the way, I want to get her out here. Do you play any pickleball? Because I've been texting with her, but she likes pickleball, and I have a pickleball court.
I've never played. I'm new to. Everybody's obsessed with pickleball. I don't even understand what pickleball is. I feel like I would be good at it because I'm very competitive, but I've never.
And your quads
I got my legs. That they are. Who is it? Amy in the live chat.
Oh yeah,
shouted out my quads. I work hard on those quads.
You really got to feature. You got to lead with. You got to lead with the strength. And right now, people like the quads and the skincare. The skincare.
There you have it.
I tried the Botox. I have to say it. One time, my ex-wife at the time, this is maybe 12 years ago or 10 years ago. I mean, she said that this thing right here on me, she's like, this thing makes you look angry. You're such a, you have a good attitude about things and all that stuff, but that makes you look angry right there. I think she's maybe right. I don't know, but I tried it.
Yeah, for guys, there's like a fold right here that if you get that little Botox in, it kind of it softens everything. But you need you can't be going to the med spas. Like you need a good like facial aesthetics plastic surgeon because they know, like I have a wonky eyebrow. So my doctor makes sure he, balances it out so my face looks nice and symmetrical.
Yeah, I was using Barbara Sturm. That's my little, but I mean, not enough cream is going to save this old dad. I'm closing in on Sean Penn, but I tried the Botox, and Zach, I was in a fight with my forehead and I could not, it was a war. And I finally said, I have to give up.
You need the right balance. Some people do too much Botox, or sometimes people don't do enough of it. You need the right balance. That's why you need a good plastic surgeon.
When we play pickleball with Jenny, Zach, I have your outfit right here.
My hoochie daddy shorts.
This is for the chat. And these are the pineapple zaddy shorts right here. I'm going to tell you something.
Those are short.
These are short. I have to tell you something. They're the most comfortable. It's the most comfortable bathing suit I have. And it's too short, so I can't wear it. I can only walk around in it. But when people are over, I do tend to wear a robe and then drop the robe and jump into the pool. And it usually gets a good laugh, I have to say.
Oh, my God.
So anyway, it's on like Donkey Kong. How long do you think this action goes in New York with Judge Lyman? I mean, is this a 4-hour, 5-hour, 6-hour thing, or probably? I mean,
well, we know that he's at least giving each of them 1 hour to present their argument. So, I mean, I would imagine there's going to be a first 30, 40 minutes to an hour, just getting everybody situated, getting everything going. From what we heard about Blake Lively's deposition, she likes to take a lot of breaks. She likes to request a lot of recess time. So I imagine it's probably about 4 or 5 hours.
Someone just asked in the chat, is Taylor Swift's wedding actually postponed? I did hear that. I don't know.
I don't think there was ever an actual date put on.
When was the date?
I don't think there was one.
Yeah. So I don't, Billy Hefner Bush. Oh my God. Oh, with the dropping the robe. That must've been the comments. Speaking of beauty tips. Bradley Cooper's eyes. I mean, that was a few weeks. Dr. Ben Tele, who did, I think he did Kathy Hilton, and he also did Denise
Kathy
Richards.
looks great.
Kathy
Denise
looks great.
good.
Denise looks fantastic. He said men never do the eyes, never get that eye job that every woman wants. Of all the facial procedures, of all the beauty treatments, every woman wants those eyes first, don't they? Right? And
Cat eyes.
the eyes first. And then, you can get to everything else. But he said men cannot do it. And Bradley did it. And it's clear that he did it. And
What did he? But what was the thing? Was it the brow lift?
no, I think he did the the lid tuck to take out the bags and take out the thing. You can't. He just said men need to stay the hell out of here with the scalpel. You can get into here this business, no problem, all day, but don't do the eyes for men
because it just like opens them.
Except whatever Brad Pitt did. Hello. That guy looks amazing.
He does look good.
Better than ever. The eyes are the soul, says Sandy. Isn't that nice? It is so much action today, Zach. Okay, so we'll be watching. We've set the stage. We know what's happening. In the beginning, going into it, I kind of thought there's no way that, Judge Lyman is going to take away her day in court. He's going to think, that there's too much going into this. She's dumped too much into this. I'm going to let the court date sit. And now I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if he said, given what's happened in the last 48 hours, at least part of it is thrown out.
I think part of it has to get through. I don't think there's any way he can really say that she has merit to her claims. I mean, the SH claim, I personally, I'm not a judge. I'm not an attorney. So for me, I don't really understand how legally she's able to push it forward. Cause I'm like, to me, she made it very clear to all of these people in these written communications that she had control over this set. And it's hard for me to believe that all of these people were in her pocket and she was controlling this set because he's a doofus director. He's a clown. And yet she had no control over not being able about having to show her thigh in a birthing scene. I mean, come on. She's shown worse in her bikini photos on Instagram.
You know what? It's so funny. Anna Wintour, if you look good in clothes, I don't give a shit if you've, stabbed your parents. I mean, I honestly, girlfriend, if you look good in clothes, you're in my cabal. It's just fashion first. You go, Anna. All right, Zach, I'm going to thank you so much for hopping up, doing court TV, then working out those quads, then joining us. We love you so much. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Billy.
Huggies, what a great guy. Okay, by the way, if you don't know the Taylor Swift Scooter Braun situation, okay, how that actually went down, you need to listen to this. This is real. There is the article that you want to read is in Music Business Weekly, but it came out in like June of 22 when they really looked at all the documents to see what happened there. Remember, Scooter Braun and Ithaca Holdings, he bought all, but not just Taylor Swift. He didn't go into just buy Taylor Swift. He bought all of Big Machine's music. And in it was Taylor Swift. And then, he got it for a song. Scott Borchetta made, $150, $180 million, something like that. And then Taylor came firing back like 8 months later in June of 2020, wanting to buy her music. And he was like, totally, let's do it. And there was this NDA. The NDA that Taylor, that Ithaca Holdings, they were trying to put forth an NDA for Taylor. So to music, let's read it. To Music Business Weekly's understanding, the clause appears to amount to this. If Ithaca wanted to generally criticize Taylor Swift publicly, or if Swift wanted to generally criticize Ithaca, or indeed Scooter Braun publicly, they would presumably be free to do so. However, if either party publicly disclosed and or criticized any of the deal proposals, valuations discussed between Ithaca and 13 Management, or if the evaluation materials put that thing up again, all non-public proprietary business information regarding a possible transaction, then they would clearly be in breach of the NDA. Okay? So at no point in this NDA put forward was Scooter Braun saying, you can't talk about me personally. You can't go do what she ended up doing. And Taylor Swift has trashed the guy. All it said was, you can't publicly address A, the existence of this agreement, right? B, the existence of, substance of, and or full or partial details about any discussion information. So they don't want like money numbers being thrown around. They don't want how the deal was reached. These are all mechanics of the deal. Not personally like you're an asshole. I don't like, your attitude. It's not personal. But Taylor Swift kept saying that they wanted this incredibly binding NDA, that he restricted everything, every ability for me to talk. Shut the woman up, is what she was saying. That is a load of shit. He was never saying shut the woman up. He was saying you just don't go talk about the mechanics of a deal after it leaves the room. That is very standard. But if you want to go and say he's an asshole, that's your freedom. It's not a small detail. So, okay. Jay Shawty's is this guy who ran 13 Management, Taylor's management company. And he was the one going back and forth with Scooter Braun. And here we go. In the article, we've seen an email from Jay Shawty's in response to the June 2020 NDA suggested by Scooter Braun, sent a month later on July 29th, noting that Shawty's concerned that the proposed NDA still feels like an attempt to muzzle Taylor. So they were like, even with what you just read there, that it was really about the mechanics and not about anything personal, Taylor still felt this was an attempt to muzzle her. All right, we've also seen an email from a legal representative for Ithaca sent to Shawty's on August 25th, 2020, a month later, which states that after discussing internally, we feel like we can move forward with the prior form, basically the first NDA that was from November 2019, a long time before. Basically, we give up. Taylor can write this NDA any way she wants, essentially. Most importantly, a senior executive employee at Ithaca, someone who works for Scooter, who was directly involved in the deal negotiations, claims that 2 hard offers were made verbally by Scooter Braun to Jay Shawty's at 13 Management on 2 separate occasions. Here's the deal. The first offer came in mid-2019 in response to Taylor's public outcry related to her Big Machine Masters and that year's American Music Awards. A week before the AMA's event, says our source, Scooter Braun told 13 Management that Ithaca was willing to sell the masters of Taylor's Big Machine albums, 6 of them, to 13 Management for $300 million. Scooter also told 13 Management that Ithaca had secured pre-approval on a financing deal provided by 23 Capital to fully fund Taylor's acquisition at the $300 million price. That offer was rejected by Taylor. Scooter's second offer came nearly a year later, in October 2020. And this time, Scooter offered to sell Taylor's Big Machine Masters, her part of the Masters, back to her and 13 Management for $305 million. Just $5 million more. 300 and 305, it's the same number, right? I mean, not a big deal. But it does represent a $100 million discount from the ultimate $405 million price that Shamrock Capital would ultimately pay Scooter Braun for those masters. And what did Shamrock Capital turn around and sell it to Taylor Swift for? I think it was like $600 million. So Taylor would have gotten her masters back for $300 million, and instead she decided to pay $600 million. God, wouldn't it be nice to be so rich that the double the price? No, I'm not going to pay for the 50% off price. I'd like to pay for the full price of $600 million. All because of no, you're trying to bully me. You're trying to mansplain me. And oh my God, it's crazy. She was offered twice, $300 million. A year later, $305 million. She keeps saying no because I'm going to stick with this narrative that it was all about a bullying NDA when it's not. And then ultimately Scooter's like, okay, well, these Shamrock dudes are going to pay $400 million, so I gave you a shot. They buy it. And then Taylor's posting, oh my God, these wonderful people at Shamrock, they're so good. Scooter's an asshole, but the Shamrock people, the private equity guys who are gouging whatever they can, they're so wonderful because they're selling it to me for $600. You just have a bee in your bonnet, just like Blake has a bee in her bonnet over Justin Baldoni. You have one over Scooter Braun. So much so that you'll pay double, an extra $300 million for your music back. Except Taylor is also a genius because, not a genius. That was too bad because in the end, once she had her masters, she got, in the end, you know what? She might end up making all of that back and maybe more because she got to play the victim, take her fans, the Swifties, down a path of victimhood, re-record all of those songs, basically adding 6 more albums to the catalog. And then go back and buy the originals. And all the fans followed and bought those re-recordings of all those albums. And now she's got 12 instead of, or whatever, 6, right? And people who are buying, licensing, if Apple wants to do a commercial about the new iPhone, they can choose. Do you want the original or do you want the new, the 2.0? Anyway, these are details that can't be left out. That's a big one, and a lot of people missed it. And Scooter Braun, you can say what you want about him. I'm sure people have business, dealings with him where nobody gets that rich. Nobody's a billionaire, and doesn't have a few enemies out there or people who are pissed at you. But Taylor Swift, in regards to him, doesn't have a leg to stand on. Here's the craziest part. She kept saying, Scooter this, Scooter that. She has never been in the room with Scooter Braun more than 3 times. And they're at parties where it's like, hey, how are you? She doesn't know him. She just picked a fight with him. Like this is, it's very Trump-like, to have like an enemy. It's good to, for messaging and for purpose to have an enemy. And that was hers. She doesn't know Scooter Braun at all. Never had a long conversation with the guy. Whew. I'm out of breath, Steve. I got a big mouth.
It was a big hour. We've done a big hour.
It's a big hour, Steve.
You had a lot.
Do you like a big hour or you like a small hour?
I like a good big hour. I think it was good.
Is his given name Scooter? No, it's got to be Scott.
You're going with Scott?
Yeah, I'm going with Scott. Every Scott is
Let's
a
see
Scooter.
what it is.
Every Sullivan is a Sully. She would have had to make new music for Ithaca. Die every song she got back. See how that's perpetual indentured work.
Okay. Billy, because you're very good at this.
Means.
His real name is Scott.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah. Let's get back to, I don't know. I went to prep school with a kid whose name is actually Scooter. Okay. Anyway, guys, this is wild stuff. There's so much going on here. But the Scooter Braun things, someday I'm going to have him on Hot Mics for sure. I'm going to hammer him until but there's so many things I want to talk to him about this, Never mind who he's dating. Bieber? I just saw Bieber on vacation. We were in the same place. Yeah. He was having coffee, came in, gave me what's up. We had one of those like bro things where you do this. and then you lean in with the shoulder that guys do. Yeah, we had it. And with boom, and then like the fingers roll off the side. I'm a much older man, but I definitely did it like in sync with him.
Were you nervous when he was coming in for it? Like it is a lot. Make sure it all gets done right.
I've known him since he was 12 years old, Steve. And my little radio show that I had for Westwood One back in the day, Little Bieber was just a little boy and he was so cute. And I just remember him with his little sweepy hair, the sweep hair that the boys do.
Remember he played hockey. Remember the hockey when we had him play hockey?
It's called the bruh hug. Hey, bruh. You know who calls me bruh? My daughter, Lily. She's 21 years old. She calls me bruh. She's like, if I say, Lily, you need to write your grandmother and you need to do this and we haven't booked your tickets for if I send her those things and I'm like chapping her buzz, she writes back, bruh, BRUH ... Like, you're killing me, guy. It's really funny. Billy, please get Baldoni on hot mics when this is all done and he is vindicated. I think I will. I'm also going to get Jamie Heath on there. Played golf with him twice. Jamie Heath is about as lovely a human being as you're ever going to want to meet. I mean it. Why don't you ask Scarlett Johansson? She did a movie with Wayfair not long ago at Cannes in May. So she'll tell you. We will definitely get him on. There's no question about that. I know where Friedman lives. By the way, I played pickleball with Brian Friedman, Justin's lawyer. What a shit talker. He's a decent player. He's like a B level player, but his bullshit is a scratch handicap. He chatters. He wears like long basketball shorts like he's a 14-year-old at camp. And he has like a tank top with the sides open, and he kind of looks like a meathead on the course. Then you go out to dinner with him, and it's Brunello Cucinelli, top to bottom.
It's I'm not on the pickleball scene, as you know.
No,
maybe I'll jump in with this when Zach comes over. We could partner.
You can play with my daughter and her friends.
But is there a lot of shit talking in pickleball?
Tons.
Is this like okay? So it's like everyone. This is pickleball scene's rough.
Absolutely,
it's a rough scene.
Oh yeah. No. It's this. The name of the sport is softer than whale shit. I mean, pickleball. What is that? And it is named after, if you know, the dog named Pickle up on Bainbridge Island in Washington State. Bainbridge is where pickleball started, and there was a dog named Pickle, and they played on the island, and whenever the ball would go into the woods, Pickle would run and get the ball and bring it back, and they're like, let's play the game where Pickle, our dog, gets the ball for us.
It's amazing. I was on
Jackie is why they call it pickleball, and I'm not making that up. I know it sounds like a load of shit. It is not.
You're not making it up, but I didn't know it till this summer when I was on Bainbridge Island for my daddy-daughter trip, and I walked into the pickleball store.
Isn't that amazing?
And I was like,
you didn't get me anything?
I mentioned it, then I almost did, but then it's like, what
almost did.
Yeah.
What's the big deal?
Oh
God, dude, really? Oh my God, what the? We were going to talk about Prince Harry today. Tabloids, he was crying in court, saying that, the tabloids have made my wife Meghan's life an absolute misery. None of this has to do with their time. The whole case has to do with his life before Meghan, but for some reason he thought that would play well there. I don't think he's looked at the polling. Harry, your wife is not popular in America, and she's less popular there. We'll see where that goes. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. NFL weekend, you guys, here we go. Here's my prediction. The Patriots are rolling right over Denver because they don't have their quarterback. They have Jarrett Stidham, who hasn't played in an NFL game since 2023 with Bo Nix out. I believe the Pats and their unbelievably great Drake May will roll over the Broncos and head to the Super Bowl again, which is unthinkable that so soon the Patriots are back in the game. And Matthew Stafford is going to deliver the punishment he did to Sam Darnold's team last year in the playoffs. I think Seattle has a 2 running back system. One of them is down. And I believe that Matthew Stafford and the Rams will roll it. And I believe the Rams and the Patriots will be in the Super Bowl. Who wins that? God, I don't know.
You know why? Great quarterbacks and great coaches on both teams.
Great quarterbacks and great coaches.
Yeah.
God, I love Vrabel. Okay.
Yeah.
We're out like Buster Douglas. I say peace to MC Trouble. Boom. See y'all on Monday. And on Instagram, a lot of updates coming. And we might hop on. If something major happens, let's say this, I'll be back on. We will be live right here if something major happens. Predicting trial date is kept. But maybe when it's all over, we'll just pop on for a little bit. Let's all get back together on that and close the loop and head into a fierce weekend. Steve, give me a nice long musical play out. I think I want to just I'm feeling it right now in the shoulders, okay? It's in here. And I love you all. God, it's just what a wonderful chat. It's great people just firing away.
Yeah, you got to take it down now, Billy. You just did like 8 rounds. I feel like this is it now. We all breathe now.
You know what it is? I worked out yesterday. I did a heavy Peloton, and then I went. That feeling after you lift weights, your chest here,
yes.
Here, you know it's all body right now is rebuilding, recellularizing. It's replacing all that stressed out tissue.
We got to remember to go for a walk.
I'm gonna go for this. Right now, I'm going in what is called clockwise motion. We're going clockwise. How about counterclockwise? Time to rest your voice, Billy. I know, I hear it too. Okay. All right.
Drink a lot of olive oil.
I said this chat. No, I'm saying the chat's crazy.
Oh yeah, big snowstorm this week.
Electrolytes.
Really? You got the
We'll have powder packs. I'm not going to say who the powder pack it is. I use them all the time. I want them.
I like this was a big, huge snowstorm this weekend, right? On the East Coast. I was coming back.
That's how.
All right.
Yeah.